Think you know everything about the food you eat? Think again. This isn't about the obvious culprits like junk food or sugary treats. We're talking about common foods, items you might have in your kitchen right now that could actually harm you. Intriguing, isn't it? Well, hold on to that curiosity because we're about to lift the veil on some shocking culinary truths. Prepare to be surprised as we count down the top 10 common foods that could actually be harmful to your health. Starting off at number 10, we have raw almonds. Now I know what you're thinking. Almonds? Dangerous? Here's the scoop. While sweet almonds are the ones you usually find in your grocery store, their cousin, the bitter almond, can be quite harmful if eaten raw. These little nuts secretly harbor a compound called amygdalin, which, when ingested, gets converted into cyanide. Yes, you heard it right, cyanide, a lethal poison. A small amount of these almonds won't necessarily cause any harm, but if you were to consume about 50 raw bitter almonds, it could potentially be fatal. Even a smaller amount, say around 5 to 10, could cause some unpleasant symptoms like dizziness, nausea, and rapid breathing. So while almonds are a great source of nutrients, it's always important to know what kind you're munching on. So next time you reach for a handful of almonds, make sure they're not the bitter variety. Coming in at number 9 are rhubarb leaves. Now rhubarb might remind you of a delicious pie or a tart jam, but did you know that its leaves are not as sweet as its stalks? That's right, they're chock full of oxalic acid, an organic compound that can lead to serious health complications if consumed in large amounts. When we say large amounts, we're talking about eating a few pounds of these leaves at once. But even a small quantity can cause a burning sensation in your mouth and throat, nausea, vomiting, and even kidney problems. The symptoms are severe enough to land you in the hospital, and in rare cases can even be fatal. So while rhubarb stalks are a tasty ingredient for many recipes, remember this cardinal rule: never eat the leaves. They might look harmless, but they're a hidden danger in your garden. Remember, when it comes to rhubarb, stick to the stalks. Number 8 on our list are raw cashews. Now you might be thinking, I've eaten raw cashews before and I'm just fine. Here's the intriguing bit. The raw cashews we commonly find in stores aren't actually raw. They've undergone a process known as steaming. Why, you ask? Well, raw cashews naturally contain a chemical called urushiol. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the same pesky substance found in poison ivy. Even in small amounts, urushiol can cause significant skin rashes, and in larger quantities, it can lead to much more serious conditions. So those cashews you're munching on have been steamed to remove this harmful chemical, making them safe to eat. It's a fascinating process and a testament to how much we've learned about the food we eat. So while cashews are a tasty treat, consuming them truly raw could leave you with more than just a stomach ache. Nutmeg, our number 7, is more than just a holiday spice. This aromatic ingredient, often associated with pleasant memories of holiday goodies, holds a hidden danger when consumed in large amounts. It's easy to underestimate the potential harm of this seemingly innocent spice, but overindulgence can lead to myristicin poisoning. Myristicin, a compound found in nutmeg, has a dark side. In large amounts, it can induce hallucinations, giving a whole new meaning to the phrase, a spicy trip. But the journey doesn't stop there. Myristicin can also cause disorientation, leading to confusion and an inability to focus. For some, this can escalate to seizures, turning a simple culinary adventure into a medical emergency. It's a stark reminder that even the most common foods can carry risks if misused. So, remember, when it comes to nutmeg, moderation is key. So, while a sprinkle of nutmeg can spice up your life, too much can definitely bring the heat. Halfway through our list at number 6, we have green potatoes. Now you might be wondering, what's so dangerous about green potatoes? Well, let's peel back the layers on this one. When potatoes are exposed to light, they develop a green hue due to the formation of a toxin called solanine. Solanine is a natural defense mechanism of the plant, warding off insects and other threats. However, when consumed by humans, it can have some rather unpleasant effects. Eating green potatoes can lead to solanine poisoning, which can cause a whole host of symptoms. These can range from nausea and vomiting to headaches and diarrhea. In severe cases, it can even lead to neurological problems, such as hallucinations and paralysis. So next time you're preparing a hearty potato dish, give those spuds a good look over. If you see any green, it's best to play it safe and toss them out. Remember, if your potatoes are turning green, it might be time to toss them out. Sweet but dangerous raw honey takes the 5th spot on our list. This golden, viscous delight, often praised for its natural sweetness and health benefits, hides a dark secret when consumed in its raw form. It can contain a potent toxin known as granotoxin. This substance, while rarely lethal, can trigger a host of unpleasant symptoms. Imagine feeling dizzy and weak, as if the world around you is spinning. Picture breaking into a cold sweat, your body's desperate attempt to rid itself of the toxin. Visualize the discomfort of nausea, the urge to vomit overwhelming you. These are the potential dangers of consuming raw honey contaminated with granotoxin. It's a stark contrast to the comforting image of a warm cup of tea sweetened with honey, isn't it? So the next time you reach for that jar of raw honey, remember its hidden danger. While honey may be nature's sweetener, raw honey can leave a bitter taste. Cherry pits, our number 4, might just be the dangerous fruit you've never thought about. They're small, hard, and seem harmless enough, right? But here's the surprise. Cherry pits, along with apricot, peach, and plum pits, contain a type of hydrogen cyanide called prussic acid. Yes, cyanide, the stuff you've heard about in spy movies and murder mysteries. Now don't panic just yet. You're not in immediate danger if you accidentally swallow a cherry pit. The cyanide is inside the pit, and your body isn't equipped to break the pit's hard shell. However, if you were to crush or chew the pit before swallowing, that's when you could potentially release the cyanide into your system. Cyanide poisoning can lead to symptoms like headache, confusion, nausea, and in extreme cases can even be fatal. So while cherries are a delightful summer treat, remember this: enjoy your cherries but always spit out the pits. Coming in at a surprising number 3 are raw kidney beans. Now who would have thought, right? But it's true, raw kidney beans are not as innocent as they may appear. They contain high levels of a toxin called phytohemagglutinin. This unassuming compound can wreak havoc on your body if ingested in its raw form. So what does this phytohemagglutinin do exactly? Well, it can cause severe symptoms that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. We're talking about extreme nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. In some cases, it could also lead to a significant decrease in blood pressure and breakdown of red blood cells. Not exactly a fun time, is it? But don't fret. The solution is simple. Cooking kidney beans thoroughly neutralizes the toxin, making them safe to eat. So the next time you're about to dive into a bowl of chili or a plate of red beans and rice, remember this little tidbit. Remember, always cook your kidney beans thoroughly before consuming. At number 2, we have a delicacy that's not for the faint-hearted: fugu or pufferfish. Here's a food that takes danger to a whole new level. This fish is infamous for its deadly potential, all thanks to a potent neurotoxin it carries known as tetrodotoxin. This toxin is found in the fish's organs and skin, and it's up to 1,000 times more potent than cyanide. Just a tiny amount can cause paralysis and asphyxiation, leading to an untimely demise. That's why only specially trained and licensed chefs are allowed to prepare this risky dish. The preparation process involves meticulously removing the toxic parts, ensuring that not a trace of the lethal tetrodotoxin remains. Even a slight mistake could spell disaster. It's a culinary gamble that requires ultimate trust in the chef's skills. So unless you're dining with a trained chef, it's best to stay clear of this dangerous delicacy. This brings us to the end of our number 2 spot, but stay tuned for the most dangerous food on our list. And finally, at number 1, we have something that might surprise you: apple seeds. Yes, those tiny kernels you find inside your favorite fruit. They contain a compound called amygdalin, which when ingested can transform into cyanide. Now don't panic. You'd have to eat quite a lot of these seeds to feel the effects, but it's certainly not recommended. So an apple a day might keep the doctor away, but eating the seeds could bring you right back. So there you have it, the top 10 common foods that could actually be harmful to your health. We've journeyed through your kitchen, from the innocuous-looking raw almonds packed with cyanide to the lethal rhubarb leaves. We've uncovered the dangers lurking in raw cashews and the hallucinogenic properties of too much nutmeg. We've shed light on the toxic solanine in green potatoes and the botulism bacteria potentially thriving in raw honey. We've warned you about the cyanide in cherry pits, the lectin in raw kidney beans, and the deadly tetrodotoxin in the fugu or pufferfish. And finally, the apple seeds you've probably discarded countless times, they too contain cyanide. It's a fascinating and somewhat daunting revelation, isn't it? But knowledge is power, and now you're armed with the power to make safer food choices. Stay safe, stay informed, and remember, sometimes the most dangerous things come in the most innocent packages. Thanks for watching.